Sankung Jame seconded the move for the adoption of the agenda. So the agenda has been adopted.
They propose. He moved for you. He proposed for the adoption.
Do we favor?
Huh? Okay. It has been moved and seconded that the agenda for today's joint session be adopted. All those in favor, please, and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The agenda for today's joint session has been adopted. So we go to agenda item number 2, to develop a work plan on the National Insurance Bill 2020. As you are all aware, honorable members, during the first ordinary session, the Assembly Business Committee committed this bill to a joint committee for consideration. And the committees that were identified are Health, PEC and FPAC. And as you are also aware, we are being guided by the standing orders as to how to go about it. If you can refer to Standing Order 107, Matters of Joint Concern. It reads, 1. Where a matter may be of concern to 2 or more committees, the relevant committees, it may be dealt with by A, one of the relevant committees disposing of it in accordance with Standing Order 108, B, the relevant committees sitting concurrently in accordance with Standing Order 109, or C, a joint special select committee established for that purpose in accordance with Standing Order 110. But before we proceed, I think it's also necessary for the records to identify those who are present. Just for the records. So I am just holding brief for the position of chairpersonship until we agree as to which way to go. But I am Usman Sela, the chairperson of the Select Committee on Health.
I am Khalifa Saleh, the chairperson of the Public Enterprises Committee, and we will see what to proceed with this committee.
I see Vice Chair of EPA.
Moro, member of both PEC and Health.
That's good. That's good. You are multi-purpose.
Mohamed Magazine PEC. Kumul Kawara PEC. Honorable Samba Jallo EPA. Honorable Jamil EPA. Alhaji Travel EPA. Honorable Kawara Health. Honorable Kewa Baro EPA. Honorable Alhaji Mo EPA.
Okay. Okay, and then we have Honorable.
Sorry for coming late. I'm Honorable Kawan, member of the Health Committee.
Okay, thank you, Honorable. Okay, thank you for that self-introduction. So as I started, the standing order has provided for the procedure to adopt, and there are 3 options. If we go to 108, it states matters of joint concern, disposal by one committee. 1081 states the chairpersons of the relevant committee shall consult and agree as to which committee the matter should fall for disposal. Where they are unable to agree, the relevant committee shall make their views known to the Assembly Business Committee, which shall rule as to which committee the matter should fall for disposal. 2. The committee to which the matter falls for disposal shall seek the views and establish the interests of the other relevant committees before arriving at any conclusions and may invite the other relevant committees to carry out the consideration of any stated issue and to provide it with a draft report. Standing Order 109 provides for matters of joint concern, that is the committees sitting concurrently. That's the second option. 1. The relevant committees shall consult and agree that the matter be disposed of by the relevant committees sitting concurrently. 2. The procedures normally applicable to committees shall continue to apply to concurrent sittings, save that the relevant committee shall, as far as practicable, operate as a single committee. While operating as a single committee, they shall, for example, deliberate and consider any evidence together, produce a single set of minutes, and prepare any reports together. 3. The chairpersons of the relevant committees shall consult and agree that A. One of them shall act as chairperson and another as vice chairperson, or B. The post of chairperson and vice chairperson shall be rotated between them. 4. Where the chairpersons of the relevant committees fail to agree on one of the alternatives set out in paragraph 3, they shall make their views known to the Assembly Business Committee, which shall rule on the matter. 5. A person acting as chairperson at a concurrent sitting, who is a chairperson of one of the relevant committees, shall not be regarded as breaching any prohibition in Standing Order 96, membership of committees. 6. A quorum shall be present at a concurrent sitting if there is a quorum present for each of the relevant committees, that is 3. 7. All questions at concurrent sittings shall be decided by a simple majority of all members present. Voting shall be by show of hands unless otherwise requested by a member of a relevant committee. 110, Standing Order 110 is also another alternative. The matters of joint concern. Establishment of a joint special select committee. 1. The relevant committee shall consult and agree that the matter be disposed of by the establishment of a joint special select committee. 2. Save as it set out below, the joint special select committee shall be established in accordance with Standing Order 95, standing, select and special standing committees. 3. Membership of a joint special select committee shall be drawn from the membership of the relevant committees. 4. The joint special select committee shall appoint its own chairperson and vice chairperson, and if it fails to do so, it shall make its views known to the ABC, which shall rule on the matter. Now we hear from the other chairs of the other committees.
Thank you very much. We did review the concerns of the Assembly Business Committee, which compelled them to remit the bill to these three committees. Section 119 for Standing Order 1. There's a Standing Order 122 states that it shall be the duty of the Public Enterprises Committee to scrutinize, consider, and advise upon all matters connected with public enterprises. We are clear that the National Insurance Bill would establish a board that would clearly constitute a public enterprise of some sort. So in that regard, we do believe that since it has a health component and a public enterprise component, from our angle, it will be better to sit concurrently so that we can all add value to it.
Thank you.
The bill was referred for the three committees in the conception that three committees are ones relevant to review it. But many alternatives have been suggested by the standing orders. We can opt for one of them if you so desire. as you see, it is a very large group. And if you want to deal with it with efficiency and rapidity, hoping to get it introduced, present it to the Parliament next session, it means that it has to be tackled with a matter of urgency. I know if we remain as we are, it will be difficult for some time for us to meet because some people would be in some other meetings. You know, we had planned in Public Accounts Committee, we proposed to make the proposal to the others that we have these sessions on the 17th and the 18th of May. But it is seen that it's urgent that we deal with it. So it is up to us to decide whether we will remain enlarged as we are, or we can appoint a restraint committee to deal with it as quickly as possible, and then refer it to the joint committee. We come and review it together, the report finally. I think that will be, for me, that will be very good.
Yes, apart from the other two chairs of the other two committees. So we will hear your views. We start with Honorable Moro.
Yes, I think this is not the first time that we actually going to, all the institutions that we've been dealing with, we have introduced a joint meeting. And what we do is we do a rotational base. I think my proposal is still going like that, where the chairmanship of the committee or the engagement will be replaced from one chairperson to the owner. I think I'm fine with that one.
Yes, sir.
Your plan? Okay, Honorable Nagaji? Your plan? Honorable Kamara?
Fine.
The rotation is fine.
Honorable Shaka?
Yeah.
Honorable Kamara Bagar?
Yeah. It's okay. My only worry is we don't have time and we have a lot of work to do. So I'm appealing that we have time. Let us not take these great breaks into consideration. Let's work, because like the light of us are in the other committees, the human rights, the elections bill, we are even thinking of having a public hearing and all sort of. So let's find a convenient time to deal with this important bill.
Yeah, I concur with you. We don't have a camera.
I would suggest we go with the 110 matters of joint committee, establishment of a joint special committee. I'm also with the view that the group is too large, and for example, not all members are here, and we are thinking of inviting witnesses. I don't think it would be in the interest of the assembly and the speed to deal with it with all three committees. What I'm suggesting that, okay, each committee will select 3 people, 3 National Assembly members, and probably 1 subject matter specialist. And then the rest goes to do all other activities. But I think it would be limited, it could be limited to a maximum of 12. 3 National Assembly members, 4 National Assembly members from each committee, then we deal with it. But going with it with all 3 committees, to me, it will not serve its purpose.
Let me just say, I really like the idea. That's the approach we started with the elections bill. Joint committee of local government and that of the human rights. So what we did is we put the members into 3 groups, and then you are given a specific chapter or areas in the bill to go and then look at it thoroughly. When you come, you report to the main committee, and then we look at it, put our ideas or issues together, and then finalize the vote on them. I think that approach is good.
Yes.
It's going easy.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. We have an issue at hand, and I just want to report from the ABC. Our thinking was this group is large. It consists of 3 different committees, And some even members make reference, FPAC, they are very busy, they have a lot of things in their hands. And likewise PEC sometimes, and also health, by then we are also busy with the other bills. So the thinking that we had, when we are referring this to these joint 3 committees, for each committee to have their representation, probably to have to go with option C, have a joint special select committee, whereas each committee will have a representation there. If not, at the end of the day, we might have problem of quorum here and there if we want to sit concurrently, because in that every committee we need to have a quorum from each committee. But if we establish a joint special committee, like these members are tasked to deal with this, definitely to me, I will go with that idea. Thank you.
Yes, for me, my suggestion about the care of the meeting, I'm suggesting that among you people, either we select or you select one person to be carrying this particular activity. I think that's important. Then the chairmanship to be at a rotational basis. I'm not comfortable with that.
I want us to look at the issue of the timing and when do we want to sit, because that is important. So there is a proposal from FPAC that we sit and discuss this thing on the 17th and 18th. So let's have dates and then we can agree on them.
Yes, I will go for committee representation. Like we take 3 or 4 people from every committee, and then they form a joint committee. I think that's going to make it much easier, so that the other committee members can concentrate on other activities in the parliament.
So, your 2 issues. The first issue is. Are you ready to say?
Long press.
You are right. What I want to say is they are proposing for us to have a special committee. To me, if with these large committees, to have a quorum is a problem. And because the standing order is saying that each committee should have a quorum, that's 3. Now, if we say 3-3, if other people, if one person in the quorum don't have a quorum, and then you will be, you cannot continue this business. But with this large committee, some people, if they have other business, they go, then if they have a quorum, you continue. But if you want to stick it to a special committee, and all of those members, if you're going to serve on the other committees again, they might also go, and the quorum will not have the quorum. Let's continue. If anybody have time for the committee, you come for the meeting. If there's a quorum, then you continue.
May I just clarify that he's mistaken. The only time that it is required that we have a quorum from each committee would be when in option B, 109. In the others, no, it does not. The normal quorum system works. Yes. No, just say in your standing orders. Don't you have?
Yes, I think there are 2 options being proposed. One is option 109, and the other is 110. 110 is saying membership of a joint special select committee shall be drawn from membership of the relevant committees. And it says further, save as is set out below, the joint special select committee shall be established in accordance with Standing Order 95. So it means that once we adopt the selection and establishment of a joint special select committee, we hand over the responsibility to the committee of selection to do the selection. That is what procedure says. So the essence here is speed to discharge our responsibility. It is claimed that the 3 committees together become too large. So what do we do to deal with that situation? So it's more large representation of the three committees rather than the speed with which we discharge our function that is really being focused on. The speed of discharging our function is to ensure that we do not stall in holding meetings. And we will not stall in holding meetings as long as we have quorum. And we must have quorum by ensuring that there are 3 members from each of the committees present at all times. So that is one option. The other option is to establish this special select committee. And when we do that, joint special select committee, when we do that, then that committee will only meet when they have 3, and that will be proper for them to continue to hold session. So the difference here is having 9 people present on the 110, or having 3 people present to have a quorum. But the question is, would that composition be efficient to be able to engage all the stakeholders, ask all the relevant questions, and come up with a substantive report that will ultimately be considered by the committees and the National Assembly? The experience that we have is that the joint committees have been very efficient because they add different value to the issue itself. And the National Health Insurance Bill has a health component, but also a financial component. So we are dealing with different abilities. And in that sense, we need a representation that will be able to interrogate the bill and interrogate the stakeholders in order to extract the type of information that we need to come up with a report that will help us to add value to the bill. The experience we've had so far is that sitting concurrently has been very effective in coming up with report. As far as we are concerned, all the committees we have participated in, there had not been a delay in coming up with a report and finally adopted by the National Assembly, and we have pushed the bills progressively to their final stages. Wherever there has been delay is from the executive, not from the committees.
Okay. So now what is before us is what do we agree on? For all the committees to be part of it, to sit concurrently, and then with a rotating chairpersonship?
That's what we have been doing it before.
Or you haven't?
No, not an alternative. I was one of the proponents of having a special, joint special committee.
Yes.
But then going, because it's referring us to 95.
Okay.
95 requires that it is tabled by, tabled by the selection committee.
Yes.
That means that that's a non-starter. Because the next session is, so then regardless of how clear that the number is too large, then we have to go with that because that's the only available option.
So we discard that alternative.
Yes.
So then the agreement is that we have a how to call it, joint committee, all the members being part of it. We proceed and then ensure that every meeting, if FPAC is busy with its engagements, they can at least ask 3 to come for us to have a quorum to proceed. If the same applies with PEC.
PEC can do that because I think they have a maximum of.
No, we have. But we have a multi-purpose member. Well, a polyvalent. There is a polyvalent member.
I have 6 or 5. 6. Okay.
But there is one who can always go full. So so then we have agreed that it's going to be concurrent, and then all the members are going to constitute the joint committee, and then now what is left is when we want to start work. As we all agree, we want to dispose this as efficiently, as effectively, as soon as possible. So then the suggestion from, is that terrible? The suggestion from FPAC that we start by the 17th, or do we need to start now? To only get, like he said, we agreed that when we meet, they can continue with their engagement, but they can delegate, they can task 3 members to come, at least 3 for us to proceed. Because the procedure we are adopting is that for us to proceed, we need to have 3 from each of the 3 committees. At least 9 members. Okay, Honorable Kamara.
Yes, you are asking when do we want to start?
Yes.
To me, I would say let's start now. Let's just do what is let's start now.
We will do it. We identify stakeholders. We want to speak now. Let's have your time. We'll come to the stakeholders. Yes. Yes. Yes, that's right. Yes. So we need to agree on when. This week or early next week? Because we cannot do it this week because let us have to go out. Early next week we start Monday, Tuesday. Monday the 3rd. Monday the 3rd. Is that agreeable to the members?
Why can't we give allowance keep coming up?
The upper week you mean?
Yes.
Not the upper week. They are saying that urgency. They are emphasizing urgency.
What is the urgency in this?
There's urgency.
No, what I'm saying.
We need to, make a constant with stakeholders. We need to prepare a report and then review, adopt, then we don't have time, Honorable. And this next session is in June. And we are talking about May. So,
The concern of the member here.
Yes.
What he's saying is not that much urgent. Even if it has to be passed at this sitting, but the financial component of it is it that you want to say money is already reserved for this scheme, or the money is going to be derived from the budget?
No, that's an allocation. That's an allocation, yes. That's something set aside for that. There's something else. So, okay, so by next week, I said Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday is what day?
Tuesday is the 4th.
What day?
Tuesday is the 4th of May.
Yeah, I mean the committee secretaries are here.
We have session.
Every committee you have your every individual committee.
Could we just say next week and we leave it to the committee clerk to plan?
Okay, we leave it to the committee clerk to do the consultation, of course, with the chairs. Is that okay with you? Yes. They will consult in the chair and then we'll inform you in due course. Okay, so now we are left with the stakeholders. It is a health insurance bill.
And plan well.
And as indicated by the chair, the other chairpersons, there is a health component, there is an health component, and public enterprise component, and finance component. So the stakeholders are going to be drawn from these areas, but not only government. You also have non-state actors. You have the public. So in our plan, scheduled plan, engagements, we also need to consider that. We'll be inviting government officials, ministers, permanent secretaries, accountant general, auditor general, medical practitioners, the private sector, civil society. Yes, so can we start listing down? So we need to get from government, we need the ministries. From government, we need the ministries. So the ministries concerned are health.
No, the same guy to start with the mover.
Which mover? The minister.
Well,
that's the ministries of health, finance.
Well, yes, I think, yes, the first stakeholder is really the Minister of Health.
Yes, Minister of Health.
The Minister of Health.
It's health.
So, and team. Because if we look at the composition of the board, it will require the health personnel. So it is important then we have the minister and team to engage them first, so that we look at the health component of the bill.
So we deal with health first.
Yes, the Minister of Health.
There's a proposal. We deal with health first.
Health and the team.
Okay, and team, yes.
And then we also need the Minister of Finance.
Okay.
Because the minister is going to have great responsibility in terms of the resources that will be deposited at the central bank. Okay. And there are various sources of resources, such as taxation, etc. So it means that there are many percentages that they have mentioned, so we need to be very clear.
In terms of levy?
Yes, all those levies and what they will actually bring. So the Minister of Finance and team would be essential, and the central bank, as well as the Accountant General, Auditor General.
Okay.
So all those should be stakeholders in the exercise itself. The intention is also to deal with insurance. So it means that we need experts in the field and companies that are engaged in it and have actually established a knowledge base for it. So if we can identify either an association of insurers and insurance companies, so that we invite them to the exercise itself to see how insurance companies do work. That is important. Social security is also going to be a player in terms of composition, so they would need to be invited to see how they see the bill. And I would say that then there are going to be beneficiaries from the bill itself, so we need to invite those who would have experience in that regard. I think the Social Security does have a group of pensioners who are represented in their board, so we should be able to invite such beneficiaries and how they compose sort of unions, etc., to defend their interests, and how they are represented in such boards so that they will not be excluded. I think that will also be useful.
Okay, so we are going to have one day dedicated. Honorable Chairman.
Yeah, I have a different suggestion or view on that.
Okay.
To me, I'm thinking that we start with other stakeholders or other ministries, and then last with health. So far, health is the custodian of the bill. Okay. So that whatever comes from other stakeholders, then we can ask those questions to help us to answer. That's my...
Okay, not to help him, yes, can I get this microphone? To help him, in fact, health is going to be with us all throughout. Exactly. The first day is dedicated for health minister and team, technicians, to come and share with us their positions, what they think should be considered. And then after that, all meetings, they should be present. Minister, the Foreign Secretary, this is what we have done with the Women Enterprise Bill. They have always been present, they'll be there. And even finance also, they should be there. Even AG chambers, they should be there. There are some officials, some ministries, some stakeholders that should be accompanying us all throughout. So that's address. So the first day we're going to have the Minister of Health. Second day we're going to have the Minister of Finance. Minister of Finance is the Accountant General, Auditor General also will be invited to come. And then take note. Okay. Oh, you want to say something?
She's exercising.
Honorable members, I apologize for coming in late. I had other meetings and Honorable Salam was at another meeting. But I think as far as my memory goes, this is the first joint committee of 3 committees, but I stand to be corrected. So really, and with the schedule of work that the 3 committees need to do, it's going to be a big challenge to have all committees available at the same time, all the time. So, but at least we have 3 committees, and then, because again, normally, I think this, the bill should have gone to, one can say it could have gone to PEC specifically, and then PEC will invite the relevant stakeholders, or equally, it could have gone to health alone. We're dealing with the health insurance. It could have gone to health alone, and health would also just invite the relevant stakeholders. Or equally, Finance and Public Accounts Committee, because of the financial aspects of it. But I think it was also a wise decision that all the 3 committees are together. So what I just want to suggest is that probably health and tech may have, more issues to handle than FPAC. And right now, FPAC has a lot of work to do. Ms. Honorable Mo, a lot of work to do. So what I am suggesting, probably we can give priority to the work plan according to your own work plan in your other committees. So to expedite this thing as per your work plan, and then FPAC will also base its participation on the work plan that you have drawn, so that they'll be able to share Mo or Jaro and other Drame, because he is also chairing many other committees with FPAC. Because I think, if my memory serves me right, we were supposed to have this planning meeting according, because of our schedule, 17th of May. It's not by design, but it's because of the way things are. That was why. But it wasn't deliberate anyway. But then again, all what I just want to suggest, I'm not imposing, I'm just suggesting that you work according to your, let the plan prioritize your availability, and then FPAC will join us and when the need arises. That's all I
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. In fact, we are speaking the same language. That's what we have said. Yes, exactly, yes, we're coming to help us. We said that we're going to proceed, but if we can get from FPAC, anytime we're sitting, at least 3, because that's the standing rule, that we have 3 from the committee. Yes, at least 3 members, then we are good to go. With any other committee also, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you, yes, the same. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing the same position with us. Thank you. Yes, so we said the second day we're going to have the Minister of Health and Team Permanent Secretary, the Auditor General, Accountant General. Who else from the financial?
Minister of Health.
Minister of Health is first.
No, I mean the second day, the second engagement. I mean
Minister of Finance.
The first engagement is health, exclusively health ministry. Second day is finance. But the minister is not only the minister, but all the financial institutions like. Sorry, okay, I said Minister of Health. Okay, slip of the tongue, sorry. So we have the Minister of Finance, the Auditor General, the Accountant General. Who else? Central Bank. That's fine. 4 institutions, okay. Then the third engagement, we're going to have insurance as stakeholders.
We have Social Security.
Social Security. Take note. Social Security.
Insurance companies.
And insurance companies. All insurance companies.
Association.
An association. They have an association. Yes, they have. Okay, that's okay. There's insurance association. Yes.
And the Gambia Chamber of Commerce.
And the Gambia Chamber of Commerce. Yes. Yes, Gambia Chamber of Commerce. chambers. We would want them to be coming. We want them. In fact, they'll be accompanying us as the Minister of Health.
How about PMO?
PMO.
Yes, well.
PMO.
Well,
yes,
okay.
PMO. But PMO can come in which session?
Yes, is the personnel dimension.
It's the personnel dimension because they are staff civil servants. You are right. But when should we have them? Mo? No, Mo?
I was just thinking, the group we are mentioning now is becoming too big. Maybe we can maybe have them in the group, and where you have the PMO also, we have the Gambia Medical and Dental Council.
They're becoming, yes. In fact, and Pharmacy Council.
Exactly.
All of them, Pharmacy Council.
Make it otherwise it's going to be too big.
Okay. That's right. No, you are right. You are right. So, but to be clear, we are done with the second day. The second session is that the Minister of Finance, Auditor General, Accountant General, Central Bank. Then that's fine.
If it PMO,
PMO can be there as government. PMO, so that's yes, that's what we're done with it. So the third engagement is the insurance companies. Okay, okay, let's hear. Okay, yes, we will. Let's hear from Jata.
I've seen that you are calling many institutions, but this is going to call for a wider consultation. Because you are talking about Gambia.
Health insurance, national health insurance.
What about the ordinary people? What about the farmers?
We can organize a public hearing. We'll come to that. We can organize a public hearing. We've done that. The health committee did that, public hearing.
These are also public hearings.
No, we'll come to that. Yeah, members of the public will be invited. We can, yes. Yes, certainly. Yes. Okay, so then the third session.
Yeah, you know, it's important that we are identifying the stakeholders. Yes. But when it comes to meetings, we can put them together. I think it's important to know all those people we need to consult, and then the program will reflect on who we need to combine to appear before us. That can also be said. I think that's really a good way to move. Let's identify all the stakeholders and then identify how we're going to program them to appear before.
Okay.
But Osman, I think we are missing something.
Yes.
It's not just calling these people,
yes,
but we have also to tag dates.
Yes, that's it.
And days.
But we said that we're going to leave that with the. We'll consult with the. We'll work with the secretaries to do that.
No, the secretaries cannot do that.
No, we'll work with them. We'll do that.
No,
we'll do that. No, we'll do that with them. We'll do that. We'll consult. You can give us one. FPAC, PEC, health. We will consult with them. Is that okay? I think that was the agreement. Okay. In principle.
I think that will be a lot of meetings because they will come and report to you, and then you look at it whether or not it's fine. I think this is meant to be a planning meeting.
It's a planning meeting.
So why can't we plan?
Yeah, but I think if we list all of them,
yes,
that would give an idea.
Okay.
When do we meet them, or how can we categorize
yes,
them?
okay.
That's what
So that would actually advise. When we have this comprehensive list,
yes,
then we'll be able to categorize.
Yes.
And from there we'll be able to see.
Yes.
etc.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So we're talking about the health insurance companies. They have an association. We talk about GCCI. Honorable Mahatma Gandhi.
Yes, I was thinking of civil society organizations to represent the population.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Who do you have in mind? Which organization do you have in mind?
Which one is relevant to health?
You know, they have special
No, in fact, the other key element, as I said, you have pharmacists. Pharmacists, if they have an association, we invite them. Nurses, if they have an association, they have all those associations, we invite them. Medical practitioners, if they have an association, there's an agency established by the National Assembly. You have the Medical and Dental Council, that is statutory. You have the Pharmacy Council, that is statutory. Medicine Control Agency is statutory. All these things, all of these institutions are stakeholders. We'll be inviting them. And then private practitioners, as I said, private clinics, they are stakeholders. Whether they have an association, we can inquire. If there's any association of private clinic owners, proprietors, we invite them.
We need the hospitals, private hospitals.
Yes.
That is important. There
Take
are
note.
consumer protection agencies.
Consumer protection, yes.
Groups, so
Consumer.
we need to identify.
And unions.
Yes.
Trade unions.
Trade unions.
Yes.
We need to look at the Competition Commission.
Competition Commission, yes.
National Human Rights Commission.
Yes.
Procurement, we need to deal with.
GPPA, public procurement, yes.
Procurement.
GPPA, yes.
So we need to look at, I think, the medicine board, right?
Medicine board, yes. Medical and Dental Council, and also Pharmacy Council and Medicines Control Agency, MCA.
So in essence, I think if we know prominent...
He's talking about the Bar Association.
Yes,
Bar Association. No, yes.
So prominent medical practitioners.
Yes, like Dr. Pama. Well, anyway, she's going to be part of the process. She's one of the SMSs.
Professionals.
Professionals who are established in the business. You are established who have been long in the I would not call it business. Well, it's business, but they are recognized. Who? Yes. No, but you can also have expert advice. You know, nothing stops us from inviting experts.
I understand.
Yes, so I think it's from that angle.
And also proprietors.
Proprietors.
Can identify the main.
Like Dr. Adam Masala, for example. I'm just giving an example. Dr. Pama, is going to be part of it. She's part of the process. She is one of the subject matter specialists. She's going. Yes, those ones, yes. The Dr. Ceases, those ones. Okay, and then yes, if someone was there's concern that the public needs to be involved. We believe that most of these organizations are representing, like particularly the trade unions.
So do we have youth associations?
Do you have any youth
women associations?
Women association, youth association, yes. Disability, yes. Disability Govi or GFD. Is it GFD Gambia? GFD Gambia Federation of the Disabled.
Farmers Platform.
If the Farmers Platform, National Youth Council. Well, yes, ministry, yes, yes, Ministry of Gender, Ministry of Women, Children and Social Welfare. Santa Yala Society, you're quite right. Santa Yala Society, yes. And then you have NGOs like Action Aid, Network Against Gender-Based Violence. Well, Tango.
Yes.
Tango.
Yes. It's an umbrella. Yes.
It's an umbrella. It's an umbrella. Yes. We can invite Tango. We can also invite members, Tango members. Like Action Aid is a member of Tango, and then they are dealing with a component that is they're supporting this gender-based violence organization. So,
are there not associations?
National Council, NIC would serve that purpose. It's statutory. Let's take NIC.
So, are there not bodies promoting health, engage in health promotion? Do we know them? Or if we don't, they should be identified.
Well, Action is one of them, yes. Action is one of them. Gambia Family Planning Association, yes. Gambia Family Planning Association, GFPA. Gambia Red Cross Society, yes. No, Gal Guide.
Combine them together. Yes. No. I think that's a wide net.
I think as at now we are good. We are fine with this. If there is any suggestion, any stakeholder, important stakeholder who is not identified, we can do that along the line, and can always invite them. So are we agreeable on that? Okay, so we are good to go.
Yes, I think now we can prepare the program. To ensure that the health component, the minister comes with his team. But along with the minister, we should be able to get this component, dental associations and all these associations on that day.
On the same day.
On the same day.
Yeah.
Yes. We not on
I
the
think that
same session.
we are leaving that with you and the secretary to work on that. I mean, you have to identify already.
So make the proposal.
Yes.
You have to
I
move.
propose.
You have to make the move.
Yes.
Yes.
No, okay, I think we can do that.
I propose that now we have identified things. So who and who is coming? Let's do the secretary. Yes.
Honorable Kamara Morum has moved that we task the chairs, the alternate chairs and the secretaries to identify how stakeholders are going to appear before the joint committee. All those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, so the ayes have it.
It's not seconded.
It's not seconded by Honorable Mahan. Okay.
Seconded by me.
Okay, Honorable Sekumaro.
Are you hungry?
Are you taking notes? Okay. No, I'm not hungry. Don't be part of them. So, okay, are we okay? So then that's fine. We can draw the curtain.
When are you coming back to get the draft and validate?
We're going to schedule the date. We'll inform you in due course. Yes. We'll on the three committees, the secretaries, we'll engage the three secretaries. So that, you'll get it tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay, Honorable Sekha?
Yes, I'm saying that we should create a date for the committee so that we will...
Yes, we have assigned that task to the chairs, alternate chairs, and the secretaries. So you will be informed latest Wednesday as to the schedule of engagement. So on that note, any AOB? No AOB? Then let someone. Okay, Honorable Davo.
No.
Honorable, let's say they don't want their full honorable to be. Honorable Makan, yes. Okay, Honorable Makan. It hasn't moved. Yes, there's a motion for adjournment. There's a motion for adjournment. Okay. Do you want me to give him the floor to deliver it? Okay. So it has been moved that this meeting be adjourned. Any seconder? Okay, Honorable Modu Kamara second. You'll be informed in due course. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, the ayes have it. This meeting starts adjourned.